Ms. Brown was one of many that was on my team.
Well, we're going to
years
prove
ago,
it today.
and when I kicked her off the team, is when
we
she started saying
today.
that she was pregnant.
Please. Well, hold on.
I'm not a drama person. I don't.
It was no
I was
drama.
with somebody else.
It was no drama at all.
I was with
politely
somebody else,
asked you. I
and
said,
he
hey.
said that he would be there for my child, so I didn't want the extra drama. I did not want to confuse my son with my son calling one person dad and another person dad. I'm not that type of person.
Destiny walks into paternity court with a wedding date set, but no confirmed father to walk her down the aisle. Today, it's between two men, Mr. Duncan, the man who's loved her for decades, and Mr. Anthony, the man she only recently tracked down. Judge Lake lays it all out, and you can already feel the emotional stakes punching through the screen. Drama and feelings? Yeah, we're in deep.
Ms. Kelly, you are here to determine if one of two men we've tested for paternity is your biological father. You hope to leave this courtroom today knowing your father's identity so he can walk you down the aisle at your wedding.
Yes, Your Honor.
Destiny explains growing up biracial with her white grandparents, always feeling different, always getting looks. Then her grandfather, her father figure, is tragically killed in front of her when she's 10. That hole never healed. She started acting out, hurting, searching. This isn't just a DNA test. This is a woman trying to put her whole identity back together before saying, I do.
Step and broke the news to him that he could also be her father. Talk to us about the journey you've been on trying to find out who your biological father is.
Her mom finally admits there were two possible fathers and takes her to meet them. First, the ex-boyfriend. Cold, awkward, emotionally unavailable. He gave wrong number energy in person. Then Mr. Duncan. Warm, present, calling her his. Opening his home like he's been waiting on her forever. You can already tell who her heart is leaning toward.
His kids gave me trouble at school, and when my grandfather, he got killed when I was 10. So not having that male influence in my life, I started to act out, get in trouble at school, and all kind of stuff.
When Judge Lake turns to Mr. Duncan, this man lights up. He remembers Destiny's mom instantly, proudly admits he was older, but wasn't that bad looking back then. Sir said, I had a house, land, job, and charm. He hoped then, and still hopes now, that Destiny is his daughter. Just look at his face. He's already emotionally invested.
Have a look, to have a child.
Did you question it? Did you have doubts?
I might have had a little doubt because at that time, she was living with a guy. She was living with a guy, but she was a nice-looking girl, and I was a little bit older, and maybe it might have been wrong, but she was real pretty.
Then he drops that mustard seed line. He's been holding on to one mustard seed of faith for 24 years, that Destiny might be his. Every time someone told him, that ain't your child, it felt like they were stabbing him. You can see his voice crack, eyes glassy. Judge Lake is moved. We're moved. I mean, how do you not root for this man?
Right now a day, and I've been hoping 24 years. I've been hoping the same thing, and I only had one mustard seed. That's all I got. One mustard seed about this little girl right here. But I tell you this right now, I hope to God.
Destiny's mom steps up and owns her past. She was young, made mistakes, and her parents raised Destiny. When her father was killed, Destiny spiraled, and mom knew she owed her the truth. Two possible fathers. You can see the guilt sitting heavy on her shoulders. She's not perfect, but she's trying now, and that regret is loud.
The relationship because you introduced your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And you wanted to help her. You knew that it was time.
Yeah, because like I said,
Take me back a little bit.
Because like I said, I was young when I had her, and I made some mistakes.
She shares how she introduced Destiny to both men. The ex didn't care. Mr. Duncan, he claimed her instantly. Open doors, open heart, consistent love. Mom admits Duncan has always accepted Destiny, always treated her like his. This is where you want to yell at the screen, ma'am, why did we complicate this?
And I took her to town and I said, Destiny, I said, you have two possibilities of fathers. I said, this time you meet both. I never hid this from her. I hated that happened. I really do. But she met the ex, and she went and met Mr. Duncan. And from then on, like I say, Mr. Duncan's always accepted her.
Mr. Duncan explains he took Destiny and her mom in. House, land, stability. He really was that guy. But after drama and disagreements, she left. Then people started telling him she was saying Destiny wasn't his child. You can feel the hurt. He's reliving years of whispers and doubts, but clinging to love anyway.
You were in a relationship with Miss Kelly. You found out she was pregnant.
Yes.
And then what point did she start living with you? Because you said she was living with another man.
When Judge Lake asks if he doubted paternity back then, Duncan admits the rumors got to him, but not enough to turn away. Every "she said that's not your child" felt like another jab. Still, his heart never let go of Destiny. That is peak dad energy. You could slice this tension with a knife and still not cut through his loyalty.
That's you?
That's me right there.
No, you weren't. You wasn't that bad at all.
No, I wasn't that bad looking.
You did the right thing. What I want to understand is when you decided to take her in and say they could come live with you, what were you thinking?
He looks Destiny in the eye and says even if people talked, he never once turned his back on her. Meanwhile, we find out her mom did tell folks he wasn't the father out of anger. Destiny's face crushed. That's years of confusion sitting in one expression. Talk about messy and heartbreaking.
I always knew that this little girl right here was mine. I always knew that.
So after they came and lived with you, you all fell out, you got into a disagreement, and then you left.
Right. She chose to leave.
We learned Destiny lost contact with Duncan because of all that chaos. Other kids were telling her, "This your daddy, that your daddy." Imagine growing up like that. Duncan explains he stayed back because he didn't want to start trouble for Destiny. He just wanted to love her from a distance instead of dragging her through drama.
Recall.
Do you ever recall her telling you directly
Yes,
that's not your child?
Yes, Your Honor, I do recall her
What
telling
happened?
me to my face. And I knew that she could be telling the truth.
He literally asks himself, should I start trouble or should I just love her from afar? Sir, that line right there. You can see Judge Lake's soul glitch for a second, a man choosing a child's peace over his pride. Drama overload, but in the most beautiful way.
This was your child, knew this was your child. Even though you two had broken up, how'd you lose contact with Destiny?
I didn't know what to do. The same pain that she was going through by people saying this is your daddy and that's your dad and stuff like that.
Then, we pivot to Mr. Anthony. Mom admits she had a one-night stand with him when he was her boss. No relationship, no romance, just a moment. Years later, Destiny shows up at his door like, "Hi, I might be your 24-year-old child." His shock is instant and honestly understandable.
That he believes is his daughter despite what people tell him. I want to know from you, when did you hear that there were other possibilities?
Destiny describes that meeting. Quiet, awkward, almost no emotion. He just sits there, staring, while she scans his wall full of his kids' pictures and school awards. She notices the similarities between those kids and herself and wonders if this might be where she belongs, even though the vibes feel completely off.
There might be a chance to see how he felt about it, if he would be willing to take a test with me to give me that closure. And he was willing. At first it was strange, it was very quiet. We just kind of sat there and looked at each other, not much was said.
She also realizes she and Anthony had basically no connection back then beyond that one encounter. No relationship, no follow-up, nothing. Compared to Duncan, who showed up over and over, this is looking like a biological maybe with emotional, "Sir, who are you?" written all over it.
Remember the relationship with Mr. Anthony?
Yes, Your Honor, it was not even what you want to call a relationship. It was a 2-minute thing. We never seen each other again or nothing.
So it was more of a one-night stand?
Yeah, pretty much.
Judge Lake plays a video statement from Mr. Anthony. He's respectful, but detached, saying he doesn't really think Destiny looks like him or his other children, and he's just confused. And listen, his energy screams, "If the paper says yes, I'll deal, but I'm not claiming anything pre-results."
I compared the looks between Mr. Duncan's kids, Mr. Anthony's kids, just always looking for that one connection that would just make me think, yeah, this is it.
All right, well.
Destiny responds softly, saying she understands he's shocked. She'd be shocked too if someone popped up claiming to be her grown child. That empathy shows exactly who she is. A woman just trying to make sense of the mess the adults made. You can tell she doesn't want to force herself where she's not wanted.
If 25-year-old Destiny is my daughter. When I first found out I could be Destiny's father, I was shocked. I never knew Miss Kelly was pregnant. I mean, this was the first I was hearing of it about a month ago when they approached me.
Then, Duncan speaks again, and it's pure class. He says if Anthony turns out to be her father, he'll be proud for them. No bitterness, no shade, just love for Destiny, and a desire for her to finally have her answer. I mean, just look at that reaction. This man is built out of emotional gold.
Seemed to kind of look downward, disregarded. What did you feel? Do you feel like you want to honor the fact that this man potentially could be Destiny's father?
Destiny shares her hopes. She wants a real relationship with whoever her biological father is and wants him to walk her down the aisle. Mr. Anthony submits. He'd be open to knowing her if he is the father. Judge Lake tightens the emotional screws. This is about identity, legacy, and a wedding day moment she's dreamed of.
How many children do you have?
3.
And what are your hopes today, Mr. Duncan?
I knew that one day that all this might happen, and I'm glad that it is. I hope that mustard seed that I got.
The lies, the timelines, the accusations, it's all on the table now. Everyone in the courtroom is on edge as the judge prepares the envelope. Only one piece of evidence can end the shouting and finger-pointing. The DNA results will reveal the truth once and for all. Who's the real father, and who will have the last laugh?
Follows. In the case of Kelly v. Duncan Anthony, when it comes to Destiny Kelly, Mr. Anthony is not her father.
Then the second result, when it comes to Destiny Kelly, Mr. Duncan is her father. He breaks, Destiny breaks. They fall into each other, hugging like 24 years just collapsed into this one moment. Judge Lake is glowing. Talk about a payoff. This is love confirmed on paper and in real time.
Destiny Kelly, Mr. Duncan, you. In the case of Kelly v. Duncan Anthony, when it comes to Destiny Kelly, Mr. Duncan, you.
As they cling to each other, Destiny's emotional, trying to process a lifetime of doubt, turning into certainty. Duncan's tears say everything. He never stopped loving her, and now the world can't deny it. No outro needed. Just that image. A father and daughter finally, officially, exactly where they were meant to be.
Should feel blessed and honored to have you as their daughter.
We'll be back.
Absolutely. And I was just about to say, he marched in right in the nick of time, because I was about to say, in this courtroom, we say all the time that it takes DNA to be a father, but it takes love to be a daddy, and you are so.
Ms. Brown comes to paternity court 32 years later to prove one thing, that former DJ and proud ladies man Mr. Henderson is the father of her son. Riddell Judge Lauren lays out the stakes while Henderson calmly denies everything, like this is just another day at the club. He's never met the son, he wants proof, and already this feels personal.
Ms. Brown, you admit you were once head over heels for the defendant, Mr. Henderson. Now today you say you're here to prove to him that he is the biological father of your 32-year-old son, Riddell.
Ms. Brown explains how it all started in Jersey City. Henderson was the charming DJ, calling her eyes sexy and beautiful, and she fell hard. They started a full-on sexual relationship, and she became pregnant. According to her, he was the only man in New Jersey she was dealing with. She's confident, she's firm, and she's here for answers.
Yes, Your Honor. I was living in Jersey City when I met Mr. Henderson at a bar. Mr. Henderson was a DJ. Mr. Henderson came to the bar and told me that I had some sexy eyes, some beautiful eyes. By him being a charming, very good looking, Your Honor, we got contact with each other. We started dating. We have a sex relationship, Your Honor.
Then the clash kicks in. Ms. Brown insists they were dating and still seeing each other while she was pregnant. Henderson jumps in, fast. We were never dating. She was one of many on my team. Not just a fling, not just a friend, a team member. You can literally see Judge Lauren's soul leave her body for a second at that wording talk about messy.
Your Honor, being with Mr. Henderson, we continue to have sex, relationship, dating, calling each other, going to each other's house, Your Honor.
While you were pregnant?
Yes.
It's not true.
Yes, it's true.
Right.
It's true. Mr. Henderson was the only man that I was seeing in the state of New Jersey.
Henderson proudly explains this team system, like he's giving a TED Talk in delusion. Multiple women, no commitment, no more kids, always using protection. Ms. Brown admits she knew there were other women, but not this cold dismissal. Judge Lauren shuts it down. Children aren't part of a game roster. And there's a grown man here needing the truth. Tension officially activated.
A lot of females in my life.
And she
she knew from the beginning I didn't want any relationship. I didn't want any more children, that I had children. And during the time when she said she got pregnant, I wasn't even dating her. And I always used protection when I was with her because I was sleeping with multiple partners. So why would I do that?
All right, so you say you got a team.
When asked how he found out she was pregnant, Henderson says he heard it from Ms. Brown's sister on the street and immediately said, "If she's pregnant, it ain't mine, I cut her off the team." Sir, the confidence. He claims too many men in her life, doubts paternity, and demands a blood test. Ms. Brown is fuming. You can feel 30+ years of anger bubbling up.
But the team.
This whole thing about a team just indicates that it was all a game to you, and if you were potentially producing children, that's not a game. That's real life. This is a young man here that's trying to figure out who his father is, and let's be respectful. How did you find out she was even pregnant, or did you even know?
Henderson swears he always said, "No blood test, no belief," then claims this is the first time seeing Ms. Brown in 33 years. Ms. Brown fires back that Raydell found him online, proving he could have reached out. She calls him a deadbeat. He says he never knew. Judge Lauren steps in, cutting through the chaos. Behind all this yelling, there is hurt, and she's not wrong.
He had too
But
many
then she
witnesses
told-
that he wanted them to take care of his.
All right, let's bring it down a
Please
notch. I'm trying to understand this. So you heard Ms. Brown was pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
You said your response was, well, it isn't mine because I know I used protection.
Your Honor, I told her, I know I used protection, but what I did tell her, Your Honor, only way I'm going to believe the child is mine.
Ms. Brown admits she's deeply hurt. She says after leaving Jersey City, she wasn't thinking about Henderson, but her son was. He searched and found him. She also corrects the narrative. She did tell Henderson she was pregnant, and he came to see the baby. Already, the "I never knew" defense is starting to wobble.
With me
Well,
in the
you
state
thought
of
that
New
was
Jersey.
his
You
father.
didn't have time for us.
Mr. Henderson,
married
Ms.
then.
Brown, it's amazing. After 32 years, it's like you all are in the room 32 years ago. This emotion is still running so strong.
I think it needed to come to a closing.
Your Honor, I just don't like the part
And-
that she's saying that.
She says Henderson came by, saw baby Raydell, brought Pampers, played with him, even cut his hair. Henderson half confirms, yes, he cut the boy's hair, but claims he was just doing a favor and thought the baby looked like some other man she'd mentioned. Then repeats his classic line, "Only way I believe it is a blood test." The man is consistent at least.
Yes, I'm hurt. I ain't never thought about this man after I left Jersey City. He wasn't thinking about us. My son digged down into detail and found his father.
Right.
He wanted to meet him.
Ms. Brown, so when you found out you were pregnant, someone else told him.
No, they did. I told him.
So you told
I
him.
told him. And guess what?
Afterwards.
Judge Lauren clarifies, so he came over, interacted with the child, then told her, "This can't be my son," and walked away. Henderson doubles down and even tosses in, "I'd already kicked you off the team." Hearing that, while discussing a child is brutal, you can feel the audience collectively wince. This isn't just messy, it's disrespectful on replay.
Doing that? Do you
Your
remember
Honor,
meeting?
What I remember is I was also cutting hair at the barbershop. She came by the barbershop and asked me would I cut her son's hair. I said, yeah, I'll come up to your house and I'll cut their son's hair, knowing she wanted more
know
than
that's
just a
your
haircut
son,
for the
man. Look
boys.
at-
I came over and I took a look at the boy, and at the time, he looked like a guy that she was pronouncing in front of
Oh,
me
man.
at the bar.
Fast forward the story. Henderson says she moved down south. Her father allegedly wouldn't let her bring the boy back, and they lost contact. He admits he never went looking, just assumed if the child were his, she'd find him through court. Judge Lauren's face says it all. That's convenient, sir. Now she turns to the one person who didn't get a say, Raydell.
What happens between then and now for 32 years after this conversation? There's never been a DNA test, and you've never heard from her again. How did they just disappear?
From my understanding, finding out years later, she said she took the boy down south and her father wouldn't allow her to bring him back up here. But I had never seen Ms. Brown.
Raydell takes the stand, and the whole mood shifts. He explains being raised by his grandmother, getting into gangs, making rough choices, and how not having a father left this huge void. "If I'd had a dad, I might have made different choices. I could have been in the NBA." You can hear the regret and pain. This isn't a storyline. This is real fallout.
No, Your Honor, and I came back by where I knew she lived, and she didn't live there anymore. This is maybe about 5-6 months later, because I actually didn't believe the child was mine, because I was using protection and I wasn't sleeping with her at the time.
And so once you went back there and she was gone, did you try to look for her, or you figured,
hey, Your Honor, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I never looked.
He says this is his first time seeing Henderson in person, and when he looks at him, he sees resemblance. Same interests too. Henderson was a DJ and dancer. Raydell did music. danced, traveled. The parallels are wild. Judge Lauren hears it all and gently reminds him it's never too late to begin again, no matter what choices he's made. Heartbreaking stuff, but hopeful.
Chris, say what you got to say. Go ahead. I've been with you all these many years. You ain't lost nothing yet. You look just like the man, to me.
Miss Brown,
Put him in
Okay.
that situation.
if you two don't give him a chance to talk, I will excuse you.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
Mr. Brown, what would you like to say, sweetie? I'm listening.
Rodell explains how he found Henderson through Facebook, got in touch with his aunt, then eventually spoke with Henderson himself. They had calls, but no commitment. Henderson then explains his side. He grew up without a father too, didn't want to shun Rodell, but still believed protection meant doubt. So he tried to be someone he could talk to, without fully claiming him.
You're looking for a place to belong.
Yes. I mean, like, how you sit here and say that I'm not your son, and we look just alike. I mean, this is the first time I ever seen him.
When you see him in person, you see yourself?
Yes. I mean, we have same similarities. I mean, we like the same things. You say you was a DJ, you like to dance. I mean, I was a dancer. I mean, I used to go to different cities and dance, and
Of course, Ms. Brown says Henderson told people he did say Rodell was his. Henderson accuses her of twisting the story. Judge Lauren shuts the yelling down again. Then comes the key moment. She asks Henderson if, seeing Rodell face to face now, he recognizes himself. Henderson finally softens. I see a slight resemblance. That's the first crack in the armor.
Court, and even out of court, that you can start again. Your dreams do not have to die, and you can become all that you want to be. You understand? You understand that? So, when did you decide to search for your father?
I was 28, and I always knew who his sister was, so I had looked her up on Facebook, and I was...
We see the old photo Henderson submitted. Young, fresh, full of swag. The same age Rodell is now. Side by side, it's honestly uncanny. Ms. Brown jumps in. Do y'all see this? Good-looking son like this. Henderson says Rodell is a good-looking young man, but blames Ms. Brown for disappearing. Judge Lake steps in again. No more yelling. This is about getting Rodell the truth he deserves.
And so when he called you, he acknowledged that you were his son?
I mean, no, he never acknowledged. I just told him who I was. We just went on from there. I mean, we had phone conversations and stuff like that.
And so, Mr. Henderson, when you heard about the Facebook post and you heard he was looking for you, you did make the call?
Yes, Your Honor. I looked at it like this. I remember...
Judge Lauren acknowledges both sides. She understands Henderson's doubts and Ms. Brown's hurt, but reminds them they moved on. Rodell didn't. He's the one left in limbo. She asks him what he's hoping for. He quietly says he wants Henderson to be his father so they can move forward and so his kids can have a grandfather. Yeah, try not to feel that in your chest.
Protection. So what I did offer him was a person that he could call and he could feel secure with, talk about what's going on in his life. I didn't shun him. I never told him I wasn't father. I told him I wasn't sure. But she goes back and she tells him, yeah, I spoke to your father.
Then she turns to Henderson. What does he hope? He says he wants resolution and promises that if Rodell is his son, his arms are wide open and he'll welcome him with all his heart. For a brief moment, the team coach turns into a potential dad. Judge Lauren is satisfied. Time for the truth. Jerome, bring in that envelope. Cue the drum roll.
And you actually submitted to the court an older picture of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you.
Yeah, that was me about 25 years ago.
About 25 years ago. So in this picture, you're about the same age that Mr. Brown is now.
Right.
All right.
Do y'all see this, Emma? Come on now. Good-looking son like this.
The lies, the timelines, the accusations, it's all on the table now. Everyone in the courtroom is on edge as the judge prepares the envelope. Only one piece of evidence can end the shouting and finger-pointing. The DNA results will reveal the truth, once and for all. Who's the real father, and who will have the last laugh?
That's all I want.
Okay. Now, Ms. Brown, I understand that you're hurting. I really do. And truthfully, Mr. Henderson, I can understand a part of your doubt. I mean, if in your mind you thought you used protection and then someone tells you have a child, 5 months later they're gone and you don't hear from them anymore, a lot of people, if we're being very honest, many people would just say, oh, well, maybe that.
Ms. Brown tearfully apologizes, saying she truly believed Henderson was the father because of how much they looked alike. Henderson, to his credit, offers unexpected grace. James. He says Rodell can still call him, and he'll still be there for him even though the DNA says no. For once, no team talk, just a man showing a little humanity.
And they read as follows. In the case of Brown versus Henderson, pertaining to 32-year-old Raydell Brown, of Brown versus Henderson, pertaining to 32-year-old Raydell Brown. Mr. Henderson, you are not his father.
Oh, no!
Judge Lauren points out that Rodell was so hurt, he literally ran out of the courtroom. She tells Ms. Brown plainly, your son's anger is going to come your way, and you have to help heal what your choices broke. Encourage him, sit with him, get him support, walk through this pain together. Then she sends Ms. Brown to go hug her son. No outro, just a mother walking toward the damage.
I told you.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. I'm not going to feel, I don't feel no remorse. I'm sorry that I thought you were the father because y'all look so much alike.
I understand.
Miss Brown,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you know?
What I went through.
No, do you know who your son's father is?
Imagine coming to paternity court trying to save your relationship, only to find out the man you're with has been tracking intimacy like it's federal evidence. Ms. Coward is here to prove that Mr. James is the father of her 9-month-old son, Taj. Mr. James says she's cheated before, he doesn't trust her, and this baby might not be his stakes high. Emotions loaded.
Miss Coward, you claim you're here today to determine the paternity of your 9-month-old son in an effort to save your relationship with his alleged father, Mr. James.
Ms. Coward confirms she wants the truth so they can move forward as a family. Meanwhile, Mr. James stands there, cool, respectful, but clearly guarded. You can already tell this man did not show up empty-handed, and oh, we're about to see exactly how prepared he came.
Mr. James, you say Miss Coward has cheated on you in the past, and you argue you not only have good reason to doubt paternity, but say you can no longer trust her.
Mr. James starts from the top. He'd been watching her around the apartment complex, hardworking, focused, taking care of her daughter. He tried sending friends to get her number, no luck. Then fate intervened at the bus stop. He offered her a ride, gave her his card, shot his shot like a gentleman, still nothing.
So, Mr. James, tell me, how did this relationship start?
Well, it first started with me actually seeing her around the apartment complex that we both live in, and seeing that she's always dressed for work.
But then there's a fight at the complex, and somehow chaos turns into cocktails. She finally agrees to have that drink, and that's when things kick off. The way he tells it, you can hear the pride, like, yeah, I finally closed the deal. Little did he know, this romance would end up on national TV with receipts.
Sure, none of that worked, and then one day I just so happened to see her at the bus stop, getting off of work, gave her a ride home. I'm a mobile mechanic myself, so I gave her my business card and, told her to give me a call if she get free. She wanted to have dinner or something of that nature.
Ms. Coward explains they started sexually, but it quickly shifted into something serious and committed. Then she drops it. They actually planned to have a child together. No accident, no surprise. This was intentional. And Mr. James jumps in to say, I was the one who told her she was pregnant. The confidence is wild.
She implied that she wanted to, she did, and that's how the relationship basically started.
All right, and so, Ms. Coward, you met Mr. James, you started a relationship.
Yes.
Were you seeing each other exclusively, or how was this a committed relationship?
Judge Lake asks how he knew, and this is the moment. Mr. James calmly says he tracks her cycle and intimacy on a calendar, so he always knows when he can and cannot be intimate. The courtroom reaction is priceless. Judge Lake leans in like, you said what now?
You find out you're pregnant.
When I found out I was pregnant, he originally bought a home pregnancy test because we didn't take any precautions. We actually planned to have a child.
I was the one that actually told her that she was pregnant, Your Honor.
He explains he's been doing this since he was about 25 or 26. Now, he's 42. That's 16 plus years of logging women, cycles, and activity. Calendars, plural. I mean, who needs a memory when you've got a personal NSA database of your love life? You could cut the disbelief in that room with a knife.
Well, I have evidence that I keep on the calendar basically about her cycle and from which I've done, so I know basically when I can and when I cannot, be intimate with her.
He even admits he started tracking because he used to be a womanizer and didn't want surprise paternity claims years later. Somebody comes 16 years later saying you're the dad? I got a calendar to say I wasn't there. Sir, this is both chaotic and incredibly organized.
Plural, yes ma'am.
So for 16 years, you've been keeping track of
Different women that I've slept with. Can't be too certain these days with somebody coming to tell you 16 years later you got a child.
Judge Lake reviews the calendar. Cycle starts, cycle ends, abbreviations, initials, everything neatly recorded. She's half impressed, half concerned Ms. Cowart knew about it and was okay with it, which honestly might be the biggest plot twist so far. She really said, yes ma'am, I support data-driven relationships.
At one point in my life, I was a womanizer. So if this woman was on her cycle, I can go to this woman versus this.
Oh!
But I mean, times change, you get older, you grow up.
Then we get to the doubt. Mr. James explains doctors gave 2 different due dates, and when he compared them to his calendar, none of them lined up with when they were intimate. In his mind, science plus stationary equals suspicion. You can see him clinging to that notebook like it's Exhibit A and B.
Okay, so let me see this evidence. So you have here, all right, Friday, December 28th, 2012. That's you have an abbreviation.
He presents more calendar pages, every intimate date in December after her cycle, all marked. But Ms. Cowart fires back. He didn't put all the dates on his calendar. Oh, now that's an attack on the foundation of this man's whole personality. He snaps right back, insisting every date is there. Drama overload.
They gave her another one on another day. So there was 2 different due dates. Neither one of them coincide with the days when I actually was intimate with her, nor with that. None of it coincide with the last time.
Judge Lake confirms her initials, ANC, on multiple days, December 7th, 13th, 17th, January 16th. Mr. James says they broke up around Christmas. No birthday intimacy happened. No way it lines up, Ms. Cowart says otherwise. It's basically, I remember romance versus I remember records.
He didn't put all the dates on his calendar.
I put all the dates on there.
You didn't.
ANC is her initials.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so December 7th, December 13th, December 17th.
We move into the birthday fallout. He claims they weren't together, she disappeared for days, and that gap has his suspicion on 100. She insists it wasn't like that at all. This is where you really feel the tension. He trusts his calendar more than her memory, and she's clearly hurt by that.
By your diary of information, there was almost a month's break in between.
Yes, it was.
The instances when you were intimate.
She claims that we had it during my birthday.
Ms. Cowart says
January the 4th.
Then, Ms. Cowart says they were intimate on his birthday weekend, January 4th, right in the window of conception. Judge Lake perks up because that changes everything. Mr. James stands firm, swearing he'd remember that. The ego, the precision, the denial, it's all written on his face. I mean, just look at that reaction.
It does.
But I will remember it's my birthday weekend. What man doesn't know his birthday weekend?
So, Ms. Cowart, were you intimate with Mr. James on his birthday?
Not his actual birth date.
Judge Lake teases him for not logging the grocery store trip where he picked her up. You slipping, Mr. James. The gallery laughs, but underneath the jokes is the real issue. If his perfect records have holes, could his doubt be built on flawed data? Things got rocky quickly.
He feels like that because, like he said, we got into it on his birthday. I ended up going home to my apartment. He didn't hear from me until the next day. He claims it was several days.
2 or 3 days later.
It wasn't. I seen him on his birthday. He picked me up from the grocery store.
When asked about the pregnancy, Mr. James says, from the beginning, he told her he'd need a DNA test before signing the birth certificate. That's how deep his doubt runs. Not because he didn't care, but because he never fully trusted the circumstances. And honestly, you can feel how heavy that's been on both of them.
So what happens during the pregnancy? Are you participating?
Well, once we found out she was pregnant, I already pretty much told her that I was going to take a DNA before I put my name on the birth certificate.
He explains his mistrust also comes from how they started. She was with another man when they first got involved. Then later, she admitted she'd slept with that ex twice. He's thinking, if you did it then, you could do it again. You can't blame Judge Lake for side-eyeing both of them at this point. Talk about messy.
So, Mr. James, let me ask you this, because besides your calendar and your calculations, what other reason do you have to doubt?
Well, from the beginning, the way that the relationship started, she was in a relationship.
Ms. Cowart defends herself, saying when they met, she was still in that prior relationship, and things with Mr. James were supposed to just be sex at first. Now it's turned into a whole life, a child, and a trust war powered by a spiral notebook. The emotional strain on her face is real, heartbreaking stuff.
So her being as arrogant as she is, after a while of us being together, she admitted to me that she had slept with him twice.
And I don't feel like there was anything wrong with that because when I met him, I was in a relationship.
We shift to Taj's birth. Ms. Cowart testifies Mr. James was at the hospital, there the whole time. She says he signed the birth certificate. He tries to distance himself from that, saying he doesn't know how his name got there and that he dictated info. Sir, you don't accidentally narrate yourself onto a legal document.
It was supposed to be a sex thing.
So did any of this sex happen during the window of conception?
Well, that's what she says. I don't know because she was nowhere to be found for 2 or 3 days.
Between December 17th and January 16th.
He says, Taj looks nothing like him, and only like Ms. Cowart. You can hear the insecurity now. It's less cocky, more wounded. He's been there from day one, but still holding this wall up, powered by fear of being played. You could cut that tension with a knife.
Or, can we talk? Can we talk this out? And that was around the 16th of January when that actually happened.
I don't recall that date.
You have to recall it.
It wasn't that far. It wasn't that far.
Then come the pictures. He's upset she took photos with other men while pregnant. She explains one was just at a restaurant with her dad. It was innocent. He doesn't buy it. She says his religious beliefs make even simple interactions look disrespectful to him. At this point, it's clear this is bigger than a test.
Whole time.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes.
Actually, I didn't. I don't know how my name got on the birth certificate.
He signed the birth certificate. I have evidence that he signed the birth certificate.
Jerome, let me see that.
In the hospital, he told me he would sign it, but he still wanted a DNA test.
It's about control, ego, and trust. Judge Lake finally zooms all the way out. This relationship started on shaky ground and has been drowning in suspicion ever since. She calls out the lack of trust on both sides, her behavior, his jealousy, the calendar obsession, and then she raises the stakes. If Taj is his, Mr. James says he'll marry her. If not, it's over.
As you look at Taj, do you see yourself? Do you think he looks like you?
No, ma'am, I don't.
You don't see any part of you in his features or anything?
No, ma'am, he looks just like his mother.
Ms. Cowart tearfully says she just wants to prove Taj is his son and have a future together. She's tired. You can see it in her posture, hear it in her voice. This isn't just TV drama to her. This is her family on the line. Can someone pass the tissues, please?
When we first started messing around, that a lot of his female customers tried to trade sexual favors for free work because
I've told them that I don't mix business with pleasure.
Who's to say he didn't?
Now it's time. Judge Lake reminds them there's a child, a future, and a possible marriage hanging on this envelope. The room goes silent. Mr. James leans in. Ms. Cowart braces herself. Cue the drum roll.
Go further.
Okay, Jerome, let's get to the results.
In the case of Cowart versus James, when it comes to 9-month-old Taj James, Mr. James, you are the father. The way his face cracks into relief, tears in his eyes, emotion flooding through. That calendar didn't save him. The truth did. Ms. Cowart grabs him for a hug, whispering, "I told you."
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Cowart versus James, when it comes to Taj James, Mr. James, you are the father.
Thank you.
He's ecstatic, saying now they can move forward, get married, and raise their kids together. Judge Lake hits them with one last gem. Trust has to replace suspicion if this family is going to work. And as they walk out, you can see it. No charts, no cycles.
Come on, you want her? I told you, babe. I love you. I love you.
I see the tears in your eyes, Mr. James. It feels good to know, right? How do you feel about that?
I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I mean, like I said, I've been there for him.
Imagine walking into paternity court to prove a man is your child's father, and he's standing there saying it would take a medical miracle because, according to him, we didn't have sex. Ms. Ellis says they had a fling, and her 3-year-old son Zamar points right to him. Mr. Coger says absolutely not. This is already tense, and we're only in the intro. Talk about messy.
Ms. Ellis, you claim you had a brief fling with the defendant 3 years ago. Soon after, you ended up pregnant, and now you hope to prove that he fathered your 3-year-old son, Zamarian.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Lake asks the obvious. If you're so sure you never slept with her, why fight the test? And he doubles down, because we did not have sex. No hesitation. Then he shifts into story mode. They talked, vibed, hung out, she came over, they went upstairs, got undressed, and then he claims nothing happened because she said she was in pain. His confidence is unreal.
And you're asking the court not to order a paternity test.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Coger, I have to ask you, you're here in paternity court, why do you oppose the test?
Ms. Ellis jumps in like, hold on, that's not how this went. She says they did start having sex. It hurt. He asked if she wanted him to stop, and she told him to keep going before finally saying it was too much. So now we've got the exact same night told in 2 completely different ways. You can literally feel Judge Lake's brain calculating.
You might want to go upstairs and, fool around, mess around or whatever. So that's what happened. We, took our time, walked up the steps, I knew what was going to happen. I was hoping that it would happen, but it didn't.
Fast forward, Ms. Ellis is out with her mom, living life, and suddenly collapses. She wakes up in the hospital, and the nurse hits her with, "You're pregnant, 8 weeks and 3 days along." Her shock is real. She says only her mom and the man she was seeing at the time knew. Not her family, not Facebook, definitely not Mr. "We never had sex" over there.
Okay, one day me and my mom, we was out having mother-daughter day, shopping, going out to eat and everything. So we're walking to a shopping mall or whatever, and they say, I passed out. I had to be rushed to the hospital. I woke up, I'm in the hospital room, I'm not knowing, what's going on, what to do.
So how does he find out? Facebook, of course. He's scrolling, sees her pregnant pictures, and slides in the DMs. She says he straight up asked, "Is it mine?" He tries to clean it up as, "Do you think it might be mine?" But either way, sir, that is not a question you ask if you truly believe nothing ever happened. Judge Lake's face is priceless.
Do another test. So she was like, "Is your name Ms. Ellis?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, okay, well, you're pregnant." I was like, out of all people, I'm pregnant, really? When I found out I was pregnant, I was already 8 weeks and 3 days pregnant.
Ms. Ellis explains she told him no because another man had already stepped up and she didn't want confusion or drama. She didn't want 2 men called dad and chaos for her son. But Judge Lake cuts through it. If there is any chance he's the biological father, he has a right to know, and so does Zamar. You could feel that reality hit the room.
But what's your thoughts on it? Do you somehow think that it might be mine?
No, you didn't say, do I somehow think it might be yours. You said, is it mine?
I said, do you think the baby is mine? Okay. And what did you say?
Then Judge Lake circles back to the key contradiction. You say you never had sex. So why, Mr. Coger, are you texting about whether this baby is yours? He tries to say it's just because they tussled in the bed. Tussled? The way Judge Lake stares at him, like, sir, that's not how conception questions work. Drama overload.
So I didn't want the extra drama. I did not want to confuse my son with my son calling one person dad and another person dad. I'm not that type of person.
Mr. Coger, now you claim you didn't have sex with her, so why would you be asking her if the child was yours?
Ms. Ellis admits she was intimate with another man about a week before her encounter with Mr. Coger, and yes, without protection. The whole courtroom collectively clocks that tight timeline. 1 week apart, 2 possible fathers, 1 disputed encounter. You can see Judge Lake mapping sperm, dates, and logic like a live crime board.
Had you been intimate with anybody else during the time you were with Mr. Coger?
Yes, a week or so prior to us messing around, yes.
So a week or so prior to you and Mr. Coger having the sex that you may not have had.
We see the messages. He asks about the baby. She says no, it's not his, and explains she didn't want him involved because someone else promised to be there. Judge Lake reminds her that what's the point is never the right question when paternity's on the line. This is about identity, not convenience. Heavy but necessary reality check.
All right, you have evidence as well. Jerome, let me see that, please. So here, Mr. Coger, you point blank ask, how's the baby? Do you think it's mine? And then you respond, the baby's doing okay, and no, I don't think it's yours. And then you say, okay.
Later, Ms. Ellis reveals the man who had stepped up passed away, and before he died, he told her to tell the truth. That's when she finally reached out to Mr. Coger, saying, there's a possibility he's the father. You can hear the pain in her voice. This isn't just courtroom theatrics for her, heartbreaking stuff.
But are you sure you never had sex with her?
I'm sure, Your Honor. I'm sure.
Okay. And so, Mr. Coger, do you see yourself?
Not one bit.
You don't?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Coger explains that on that later call, he still insisted they never had sex, but told her he'd support her emotionally anyway. Then, he brings back up his wife, Ms. Williams, who arrives fully prepared to defend her man. She says she heard the call, believes him completely, and insists there's no reason for him to lie. The loyalty is strong.
This was last year. We talked on the phone. I said, well, you know we didn't have sex. I had on speakerphone. So she was like, well, yeah, I know. She said, yeah, you know. I said, well, okay. I said, well, I'll support you, and whatever you're going through, whatever's going on, I will support you regardless of how.
Ms. Ellis, not backing down, produces a conception calendar and casually drops, we had sex in the car. The car. Judge Lake literally has to stop and reset. Wait a minute, you left that out. So now we've added a car hookup to the upstairs confusion. I mean, just look at everyone's faces. This plot is folding in on itself.
You have a calendar.
Mm-hmm. The part that's in the green, that's around that time in that week, I did the whole week. For the main fact, I don't remember exactly what day me and my ex had sex that week, but I know for a fact that following week.
Judge Lake tries to untangle it. Sex with the ex at the end of June. Alleged sex with Mr. Coger on July 7th in the car, barely a week apart. Ms. Williams is throwing shade. Ms. Ellis is firing it right back, and the whole exchange derails into, you don't know your man, versus, you don't know who you slept with. You could cut this tension with a knife.
Okay, well,
we only had
wait a minute.
one encounter. We only had one encounter at my sister's house.
That's
it
a
was
lie, Your
upstairs. She told me she couldn't mess around with me, and I said, okay.
Finally, Judge Lake snaps them back to reality. She warns if they keep yelling instead of cooperating, they'll end up with no answers. Then she makes the call. There will be a DNA test. She orders them out of the courtroom immediately to get it done. No more bickering, just science.
You were having sex with the ex at the end of June. So it's really only a week apart.
She don't know who she slept with.
And just like you don't know who your man is.
I don't know who my man is.
They return. The energy has shifted. Ms. Ellis opens up about growing up in foster care, not knowing her real mom until she was 17, and not wanting that kind of uncertainty for her son. That vulnerability hits hard. For once, everyone stops talking over each other and just listens.
Now we've returned to court to conclude the matter of Ellis v. Coger as it relates to 3-year-old Zamarian. You've been tested, the results are in.
Judge Lake asks Mr. Coger about his hopes. He admits he's never even seen Zamar in person, only in pictures, and wants clarity. Then she presses, didn't you come to see the child once and get turned away? He sticks to his story, still refusing to acknowledge any sexual relationship. He's riding this "we never had sex" wave all the way to the envelope.
Mr. Coger, what are your hopes?
My hopes is that Zamarian, he's old, you know, to know whether I'm his father or not.
Do you have any relationship with him?
Time for the results. Judge Lake opens the envelope slowly, the whole courtroom frozen. In the case of Ellis versus Coger, pertaining to 3-year-old Zamar, you can see Ms. Ellis bracing, Ms. Williams clutching air, and Mr. Coger staring straight ahead like he's unbothered. Cue the drum roll.
Are you now saying in court that you did in fact have a sexual relationship with her? Do you remember the car incident now?
I'm not saying that, no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
All right, well.
The lies, the timelines, the accusations, it's all on the table now. Everyone in the courtroom is on edge as the judge prepares the envelope. Only one piece of evidence can end the shouting and finger-pointing. The DNA results will reveal the truth once and for all. Who's the real father, and who will have the last laugh?
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Ellis v. Coger, pertaining to 3-year-old Zamarian Johnson, Mr. Coger, you are Zamarian's father.
Even after the results, he sticks to his testimony, but Judge Lake is done with that storyline. Ms. Ellis is emotional, insisting she would never lie about something like this. Ms. Williams says she still believes her husband, and you can feel how complicated that is. Then the judge cuts through all of it. Regardless of memories, he's your son now.
Is your memory coming back now?
Not at all. Not at all, Your Honor. Not at all. I don't have no reason to lie about it or, damn.
So you still don't remember?
I do not. I don't.
Ms. Ellis agrees to let him meet Zamar. He walks over, softly greets his son, and for the first time in this whole circus, we get a real human moment. Judge Lake smiles, relieved. No speeches, no outro. Just a father finally facing the truth, and a little boy who now knows exactly who he came from.
That's not the type of person I am.
Ms. Williams, what's going on in terms of your husband and his testimony that he never had sex with her? Do you feel like he's lying, or do you really feel like he doesn't remember?
I still believe him. He's never had to lie about anyone that he slept with.
Well, you can keep believing your husband. Your husband gonna keep lying to you, and you're gonna keep believing his lies.
Listen, I want to say this, Your Honor.
3 adults, 2 mothers, 1 man who has spent decades doubting all of them. Today in paternity court, Mr. Herron, Mr. Medley Jr., and Ms. Johnson have all dragged Mr. Medley Sr. into court demanding one thing: the truth. Judge Lake lays it out clean, and you can already feel this isn't just a case, it's a lifetime of hurt.
3 different adults with 2 different mothers brought the same defendant to court today in an effort to prove paternity. Mr. Herron and Mr. Medley, you are here to prove to Mr. Medley Sr. that you are indeed his son.
Judge Lake explains she'll hear the son's case first. Mr. Herron and Mr. Medley Jr. stand together, both claiming this man is their biological father, both desperate for him to finally stop denying them. Meanwhile, Mr. Medley Sr. calmly insists today's results will prove he had every reason to doubt. The tension hits instantly.
Ms. Johnson, you grew up without a father for 26 years and claim that when you finally found the defendant, he claimed he didn't know you existed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Herron starts pouring his heart out. He says it affected him deeply not having a father, and then the dagger. Why would you give me your full name as a junior? Why would you sign my birth certificate if you're just going to deny me? You can see the anger and pain fighting to come out. Heartbreaking stuff.
Please explain to the court how difficult your life has been without having a father.
It affected me in life. Want to know why he wasn't in my life? Why would you give me your full name?
Judge Lake turns to Mr. Medley Sr., who starts his justification tour. He says he met their mother while playing in a band and that she approached him at shows. But soon, he claims, he heard rumors she was sleeping with other men. You can feel the son's faces tighten. Here we go, blaming mom.
If you deny me as your child, it hurts me like all get out.
So, Mr. Medley Sr., you submitted a whole list of doubts.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
He admits he went to his pastor once she got pregnant, and the pastor told him to do the right thing and make her an honorable woman. So he married her, even while doubting the baby was his sir. You walked down the aisle with suspicions and waited 30 years to do this properly? Drama overload.
So in your statement to the court, you claim you went to your pastor once you learned she was pregnant.
Yes.
And what did your pastor tell you?
Do the right thing, make her an honorable woman.
So basically, you married her even though you had doubts.
Then he says another band member told him she'd been with someone else too. Trumpet player side plot unlocked. The way he delivers it, you'd think this rumor is his golden ticket. Meanwhile, Judge Lake is listening, but her face is very much, rumors are not receipts.
And then you also claim you heard from another band member.
Yes, I went to audition for a band.
Yes.
The trumpet player was acting kind of strange, like he didn't want me, and I knew everything went well. And as I was leaving, packing the kids up.
Now the sons speak. They talk about how their grandmother, his mother, treated them like real grandkids, always there for birthdays and holidays, always telling them, no matter what your daddy says, you are my grandbabies. Just listen to their voices crack on that memory, that love from her versus his denial. Brutal contrast.
The reason why I think he's denying me is because when his mother died in 2007, he was nowhere in our lives before then. His mom came down for Christmases,
birthdays, everything.
Mr. Medley Jr. finally snaps. Look at me. Do I or do I not look like you? And honestly, side by side, it's wild. He's basically calling his father out with his face. You can practically feel the whole courtroom mentally saying, yeah, that's your clone, sir.
You guys are always going to be my grandkids. And that hurts me so much to hear this man sit here in this courtroom and lie to you like that. Look at me. Do I not look like you?
When asked why he was never there, Mr. Medley Sr. throws out, if you didn't believe the child was yours, would you be there? Mr. Heron claps back instantly, says he'd have taken a DNA test and not waited decades. Judge Lake doesn't say it, but her eyes say, exactly.
I don't know.
How you not know, man? You looking at yourself right here.
Not the way I see me.
Can I say something?
What would you like to add, Mr. Medley?
But why were you never there? That's what I want to know.
Mr. Medley Sr. tries to hide behind the era, says back then they only had painful blood tests and the grandmother wouldn't allow it. Now it's just a swab, he shrugs. Judge Lake shuts that down softly but firmly, pointing out that regardless, these young men are sitting here full of pain he has to acknowledge.
Wait till we're grown to do all this.
This was back in the 80s, and in the 80s we did not have DNA, we had blood tests. I tried to get blood tests. The grandmother kept saying, it's painful, they've been through enough. She would not allow me to do it.
Then, the emotional gut punch. Mr. Heron breaks down and tells him, you messed my life up. He explains he almost died in the hospital and carries deep resentment tied to that abandonment. His brother recalls their injured sibling in an incubator and their father not being there. The silence after that, you could cut it with a knife.
I died 3 times in the hospital because of you, man. And I hate you for that. I want to let you know that.
And on top of that, what he just said, I remember I was about 1. And I remember his mom being at the hospital.
Judge Lake sees enough. She knows the only way to untangle decades of damage is with clear answers. She reads the first result. In the case of Heron v. Medley, Mr. Medley Sr., you are the father. Mr. Heron's face says everything. Rage, relief, validation all at once.
In the case of Heron Medley v. Medley, pertaining to whether Victor Medley Sr. is the biological father of Maurice Heron, it has been determined by this court, you are the father.
She immediately moves to the second. In the case of Medley Jr., you are the father. Both brothers now have confirmation. No more doubt, no more hiding behind rumors. You can see the weight fall off them, while Mr. Medley Sr. sits there like his whole narrative just evaporated.
In the case of Heron Medley v. Medley, pertaining to whether Victor Medley Sr. is the biological father of Victor Medley Jr., it has been determined by this court that you are the father.
But instead of owning it, he tries to drag their mother as promiscuous. Oh no. The brothers snap back fast, defending her, reminding him she loved him. That's why she had kids with him. Judge Lake is not amused. This man is 2 for 2 on paternity and still tossing shade. Talk about messy.
So now you know.
Yes, I do.
Do you have anything to say to your sons?
Well, I'm glad that the truth has come out, and I'm glad that they are. If your mother hadn't led such a promiscuous lifestyle, we wouldn't even be here.
Then we finally see a crack, with Judge Lake urging him to take an honorable step towards them. Mr. Medley Sr. reaches out. Love you, man. The sons, through tears, say it back. It's raw, imperfect, but real. Even Judge Lake admits it's taking everything in her not to come down and hug them.
Mr. Medley Sr., it's taking all of my energy right now to not come off this bench and just hug them up. But what I do see in these young men is that if you would just take an honorable step in their direction.
Now, it's Ms. Johnson's turn. She's been sitting quietly, holding all of this in. She explains she grew up in and out of foster care, staring at her reflection as a teen, wondering who she looked like. When her mom finally told her the name Victor Medley, she found him on Facebook at 26 and reached out, hoping for answers.
Miss Johnson, I know you've been waiting patiently. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. You've overcome with emotion and you've been waiting so patiently. Can you stand? Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
She says at first, he seemed happy, calling her my daughter, making picture collages, acting proud. Then the story splits. He claims she pushed for a DNA test. She says that never happened. Things really broke when she asked for help fixing her van so she could transport her special needs daughter, and he went silent. Ghost mode activated.
I asked my mom
One day I was looking in my mirror when I was a teenager and I didn't look like her anymore. And I'm like, I don't know who I'm looking at. The stranger that I'm looking at in the mirror, I need to know. So I was like, Mom, this is enough. I just need to know what's the name of my dad. So she told me his name was Victor Medley, but you are not to contact him while you are in my house.
Ms. Johnson lays it out. She called, texted, messaged for about a week. No response. That's when she told him to delete her and her kids off Facebook, not out of pettiness, but pain. Sitting there now, she's clearly still wounded, and Judge Lake lets that hang in the air because this man has a pattern.
I set up a Facebook page and I finally found Victor Sr. on Facebook. I sent him a message. I said, this may seem strange, but you know, I had a conversation with my mom and my mom told me that you are my dad. He said, oh, really? First I told him my mom's name and I asked him, did he know her? He said, yes.
When asked why the results mean so much, Ms. Johnson, voice shaking, says she just wants closure. She points out she looks like him, like her brothers, and notes she's only 5 months older than them. The math, the faces, the emotions, it all feels like it should add up. Jerome brings the final envelope.
She need to go to therapy. Can you just buy me a new van with a lift on it so I don't have to carry her?
I wish I could, but I can't.
Okay. I wish I would have got an answer like that the first time.
Why are these results so important to you?
Because it will give me closure. I mean, I know. I look like him.
The lies, the timelines, the accusations, it's all on the table now. Everyone in the courtroom is on edge as the judge prepares the envelope. Only one piece of evidence can end the shouting and finger-pointing. The DNA results will reveal the truth once and for all. Who's the real father, and who will have the last laugh?
I look like Maurice. I look like Victor. I'm the oldest, and he's talking about people being promiscuous. I'm 30, Maurice is 30. I'm 5 months older than him.
She's not lying.
Well, on that note, Jerome, I think it's time for the results.
He quietly admits he thought she was his daughter. Judge Lake points out that beneath the ego and excuses, he clearly cared. And then comes the unexpected grace. He turns to her and says, I'll be your dad if you want me to. No pressure. She's sobbing. The brothers are emotional. And this courtroom that started in chaos is now wrapped in hugs.
In the case of Johnson v. Medley, pertaining to whether Victor Medley Sr. is the biological father of Christian Johnson, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Medley Sr., you are not her father.
I thought she was my daughter.
Judge Lake is in tears herself, calling it a moment of love and forgiveness, overcoming years of hurt. No lecture, no outro, just a family, 2 confirmed sons, 1 heartbroken daughter, and a man finally trying to step up, standing together in a way they never have before.
Somewhere underneath all of that tough exterior, he really cared. And at this point, when I asked him to take 1 step towards you, despite everything that happened, he did. And in this moment, I just wondered if you all could take 1 step towards him in this moment.